Thank you very much, Captain, for your time. Now, were you nervous at all yesterday as judgment was being handed down? Did you ever at any point think this could go either way?
Not at all. From how evidence was led by my hardworking state prosecutor, Advocate Mohammed, I had no doubt that we have nailed this one. The investigation that was put forward made sure that we are definitely going to be securing a conviction. So I was not nervous at all.
Now, a lot of people, would be saying that this case would have never actually gone this far or been as successful had it not been of the confession of the actual killer, Muzigaisa Malepane. But, of course, you had other evidence that was presented in court, for instance, the technology that you used to make sure that you found exactly who the mastermind was.
Yeah, that's true. Look, most of the times we cannot rely on what the other accused person or suspect is saying about the other one. Normally the courts don't entertain that, so I had to look at other evidence that can link Mr. Shoba to that, and then technology all played a role in that to actually connecting to what was said by Mr. Malepane to corroborate that. So, yes, technology did help that.
Now, just tell me, I'm interested to know, the day you went to go arrest Mr. Shoba, what was his demeanor like? What did he say to you guys?
Look, he could not believe what his eyes were showing at first. He actually said, no, I'm basically arresting him based on what the media is writing and purporting and what Malepane has told the court. But otherwise, he did not show any emotion, to be honest.
I'm sure he thought he'd get away with it because he was the person who showed police that CCTV footage trying to say that Tshegofatso left with Malepane and he didn't know who Malepane was. So I assume he thought your evidence is never going to get him behind bars.
Yeah, at that stage he did not know what was actually in the docket, what was collected as evidence. So he was adamant that no, he was not involved and he does not know the person. The person was known by Tshegofatso. That was what he said initially.
What was going through your mind, Captain, when you actually took a look at that CCTV footage? I know it was two different angles that you had to look at when they first went out at around 10 o'clock, went back inside the complex and then went out again. What was going through your mind when you realized that something is amiss?
Look, earlier on that day, before we actually went out with my colleagues to view the footage and obtain it, we actually had interviewed him as the last person who was with Tshegofatso. And then from the interview, I picked it up that no, something cannot be right in what he told us. So as I went and viewed the footage, yes, I could see him and Tshegofatso going out, and then the jeep coming, Tshegofatso approaching the jeep, and then he stood back, and then subsequent to that, he went back inside. But still, I was not satisfied. And then one other thing, besides that footage depicting that movement and all that, it did not help much because it could not give us the registration. We could not pick up the registration. And then I had to drive around the area, especially the connecting roads, and then check if I can be able to get street cameras. And that is what actually helped, because I managed to locate cameras and then did follow-ups with the company that was manning those cameras, and then that is how I got the registration of the Jeep, and the chase started from there.
So technology played a huge role in your investigation then, because besides that, you only had Malepane's confession after his arrest, of course, and conviction.
Yeah, that's true. Technology actually comes a long way in helping us, especially where you don't have eyewitnesses in your cases. So it helps a lot because you are able to track movements prior, during, and after the commission of a crime. And it's also crucial in placing perpetrators on crime scenes. So, yeah, it helps a lot.
So as the investigating officer, you obviously had to spend quite a lot of time with the Pule family as well, them demanding answers, wanting to know what happened. Did you at any point as a police officer go through emotion? I mean, you're also a person, so I'm sure seeing, her family weeping and asking and pleading with you to please find the person who killed her. Did you ever go through, those emotional nights, maybe thinking about her?
Yes, of course, emotions will be there. You should remember that we have fiancés, we have wives and children also. However, you need to strike a balance. Otherwise, you risk omitting crucial evidence that can have negative outcomes in court. So emotions will be there.
When you saw Tshegofatso Pule's body and the way that she was killed, would you say this was one of the worst crimes that you saw in terms of the fact that she was so heavily pregnant and the way that she was murdered?
Yes, of course, because I've dealt with quite a lot of brutal cases, but this one was, I can say, if I may put it that way, was unique in a sense that it involved a woman who was about, who was due to actually give birth, and then it was my first experience, although I've dealt with quite a lot, but this one was just something else. Yes.
I know I'm preempting a little bit, Captain, but, after investigating and spending these 2 years trying to find justice for the Pule family and, of course, for a lot of other victims of a crime, especially this type of crime, on the 10th of May is the mitigation and aggravation of sentence. A lot of the family members are saying that because he killed 2 people, he deserves 2 life sentences. What would you say?
Look, yes, out there people would think that is how it works because of if 8 months pregnant, that is a person already, but the law works differently. So we just have to wait and hear what the judge would sentence him on.
All right, lastly, Captain, before I let you go, I mean, you're one of the police officers, particularly in this case, which was so big in South Africa, that has proven that not all police officers are bad apples. So I'm just going to give you the opportunity to encourage South Africans that there are possibly many other men in blue who are like you within the force.
Yeah, of course, that is true. It is a fact that we do have some rogues and corrupt officers within our ranks, but South Africans should know that the system is flushing them out almost daily. Some are already serving time as criminals. So South Africans should, however, know that the number of hardworking and good police officers surpasses that of the bad ones by far. I am also pleading to fellow South Africans to be involved in helping the police to deal with crime and criminals. They live amongst us, so we plead with you to bring us the information. Of course, including of corrupt police officers, so that we can deal with them and then get an efficient police service working.
All right. Thank you very much for speaking to us. And I guess congratulations on this conviction from ENCA. Captain Bongani Mpete from the South African Police Service. He's the lead investigating officer in that case that saw Ntuthuko Shoba being convicted of the premeditated murder of his heavily pregnant girlfriend, Tshegofatso Pule.